ஜோதி அருட்பெரும் ஜோதி தனிப்பெரும் கருணை அருட்பெரும் ஜோதி அருட்பெரும் ஜோதி அருட்பெரும் ஜோதி தனிப்பெரும் கருணை அருட்பெரும் ஜோதி You are filled with Jyoti, the light of God, and it is the light of compassion and intelligence. You are filled with the light of Arun, the light of grace, the light of God. It is an intelligent light. It's a light filled with compassion. Listen to his chant. We become both compassionate and infinitely intelligent. Arupperum Jyoti Arupperum Jyoti Thanipperum Karunai அருட்பெரும் ஜோதி அருட்பெரும் ஜோதி தனிப்பெரும் கருணை அருட்பெரும் ஜோதி Arupperum Jyoti is the mantra revealed by Shiva.
listen to the song, develop compassion and enlightenment.
அருட்பெரும் ஜோதி அருட்பெரும் ஜோதி தனிப்பெரும் கருணை அருட்பெரும் ஜோதி அருட்பெரும் ஜோதி அருட்பெரும் ஜோதி தனிப்பெரும் கருணை அருட்பெரும் ஜோதி You are filled with Jyoti, the light of God, and it is the light of compassion and intelligence. You are filled with the light of Arun, the light of grace, the light of God. It is an intelligent light. It's a light filled with compassion. Listen to his chant. You become both compassionate and infinitely intelligent. Arutperum Jyoti Arutperum Jyoti Thanipperum Karunai Arutperum Jyoti Arutperum Jyoti Arutperum Jyoti Thanipperum Karunai Arutperum Jyoti
Hello, everyone. I'm just going to do a sound check, a visual check to see if you can hear me and see me okay. Can someone just pop a note on there and say, and let me know if you can see me okay and hear me okay? Yes? Hi. Okay, I'm going to take that as a yes. You can see and hear me okay? Great. Thank you so much. All right, here we go. All the yeses, all good. Thank you so much, everyone. So we're going to start. Welcome, everyone. It's Monday, September 14th, 2020. We are on day 13, or the 13th moon of this fortnight of the ancestors. So the great time to connect with the ancestors is during this 14th, 15th day period at this time of the year, where we can ask the blessings from the ancestors to come into the earth plane, pour in intelligence, joy, happiness, peace, prosperity, even during these COVID times that we are all experiencing lockdown or suffering at the level of the body, the mind, the soul, the finances, the relationships. So much upheaval has been happening, rioting. We've got forest fires going on. We've got natural calamities going on in the world. There is always something happening. Wars are going on all the time. Since when? Times immemorial. We're always fighting with one another. So where is that coming from? Our history, or her story, is passed on through the genes, through the DNA that we share in our lineage. So our ancestors, they tried to make a go of it, and then we came through that lineage on the maternal side of the family, paternal side of the family. That's what it takes to get here. So we have come into this world at this time to experience certain kinds of karmas. So karma is our thinking process. What we think, so shall it be. And some people think, well, no, I was just born into this and I have to suffer just like my father, my mother, my brothers, my sisters, their families, and so on. We're carrying the genes of disease of the body mind, or financial problems. We were never taught how to invest our money wisely, or perhaps we were taught and we rebelled against it. Where do those thoughts come from? So our karma is that which we are thinking in this a particular point in time. And on this day, during the 13th moon of the 15 days that we're honoring the ancestors, the 13th moon is all about karma. So again, karma is our mindset, what we think, what we feel, what we want to do, what we have done. It keeps ratcheting in our brain, and then we act on it, or we don't act on it, or we react again and again, the same thing, expecting different results. So this is what it is. Historically speaking, our ancestors have been through wars. They've been through hard times. They've been through times of scarcity, times of poverty, times of fear and anxiety. And we've inherited that through our DNA that we share. Just like we inherit the nose on our face, the physical features, also the qualities, or our personalities, or how we think, our thinking patterns. And we were thinking, wow, I'm educated, I know what I need to do, but all of a sudden we do really stupid stuff and we get ourselves into trouble. So this is a time where people have been exploring. Those of you who have been coming to this workshop every day, or maybe you've visited it during a recorded session, and then you did your TARPANAM practice. This is opening up your mindset to see, whoa, whose thoughts are there? Are these? Who is there inside of me? What are those spirits, that energy that I am feeling every day that's pinging me? And all of a sudden, one moment I'm feeling super fabulous, and another moment I'm feeling like I'm so confused, I'm angry, I'm upset. And it's not because it's anything that anyone did or you did. It's every moment really is a fresh start. You can tap into this moment right now. And what are your thoughts? Are you thinking positive, prosperous thoughts? Are you thinking joy and happiness? Are you thinking, oh my God, what is going to happen to us? What is this COVID? Oh my God, the government, the politicians, the medical system, the educational system. Oh my God, it's everything else is determining how you feel. You look out and you say, oh, I feel a certain way because of what I'm seeing. We're going to see that forever and ever and ever. Amen. So that's why getting on a spiritual path, you can thank your ancestors who were totally messed up, because it's making you to see, hey, don't keep repeating this pattern of thinking. And you've got to find a way out. And when you find a way out, as in you, this individual, and collectively here, and I myself included, when we are doing our spiritual practices, when we bring more attention, more awareness to this realm that we can tap into in any given moment, that's all it takes, is a fraction of a second to create a space for miracle consciousness to come in. Because what happens when miracles happen in our lives? We've all had them. You may think, oh no, my life has been so terrible. But maybe you were in an accident and it could have been totally devastating, where you would be paralyzed from the neck down. So, and even if you were in an accident because of your karma or because of your ancestors pumping those ideas into you, and you just happen to have that situation, you would have the worst possible care. Instead, you have fabulous people around you. So there are the silver linings or the gold linings in every cloud, the silver linings in the clouds, right? We've heard that. And are you thinking about those silver linings, or are you thinking, oh, woe is me, my life is so, so terrible? And if you are thinking that, you're going to keep manifesting that. And if you are manifesting that, it's going to be a tough battle all the way to the very end. So we can experience a miracle moment where we will tap into the energy beyond what we are experiencing now, whether it's sadness, whether it's depression, whether we feel like we have no freedom left. Who took our freedom away to just be able to go to the grocery store and it be open, for one, and then go and get groceries without having to mask up and put the alcohol on the hands, the hand sanitizer that's burning in the skin, without having to overload ourselves with anxiety and fear and absorb all that from the conversations that we have or the thought forms that are swirling around during family times or during lockdown times. How many of us have said, oh my God, being in this family, I didn't realize my 8 hours away from the house was actually freedom. And the kids think that too. So we have all been locked down, and we're having to deal with that loss or that sense of loss of freedom. So we're trying to find ways to free ourselves up from intermingling with everyone too much. So that's the karma. We said, hey, we're going to do this. We're going to come during COVID time a long time ago as a little soul saying, hey, I'm going to try that lifetime out and put me with that gene pool. And so you can express your life through that DNA. So good news is when we participate in this TARPANAM service, and you can even feel now what's going on in your throat. Just close your eyes right now, put your hand on your throat and feel what you're feeling, and then pay attention to your thoughts. What are you thinking? What are your thoughts? And then go back to your throat. You will see there is a connection between your thinking and also your throat. So there's an energy that's trying to get in, and then it gets up, and then it starts to come in the mouth. It comes in the eyes. It comes in the nostrils, the ears. It tries to get into the orifices, all the holes in your body. And that's where we see our karma, or we hear things, or we smell things, and we taste things, or we take things in through these holes. And then we have about 1 trillion pores in our skin, and we absorb all the thinking energy that has come, or we have exposed ourselves to. So it's just like when you watch a scary movie, you feel as if, oh my God, that is happening to me. Or if you're not afraid, maybe you laugh at scary movies and your body has a reaction and you have an experience, and then you turn it off or it ends and you go away from it, and then you just pause and see what you feel like, and then trying to get to sleep after that. If you are, if you've absorbed a lot of negative energy or a lot of positive energy, maybe you have different experiences in your trying to get to sleep or in your sleep. Maybe you have really bizarre dreams. So everything in life is how you perceive your thinking process. So we want to shift our thinking process. And as Dr. Pillai has shared in many of the teachings around Mahalaya, around this great time of the ancestors, is that the thoughts of poverty or scarcity consciousness are inherited by our ancestors. And it totally makes sense because our ancestors went through war times. They went through ups and downs, successes and failures. And our genes, our DNA that we share with them, even though they're no more. Please remember, for those who are joining new, or who are new and you're joining, your ancestors are dead people. They are deceased. They're no more here in the physical realm. So please don't consider your ancestors as your parents or your grandparents if they're still alive. So your ancestors can be children who have passed away, or nieces or nephews or cousins or aunts or uncles, or someone in your gene pool. Now, those people who do not know who their biological ancestors are, or their biological family is, or those ancestors, then you can also be praying for the ancestors of your adopted family, or whatever family you grew up with and you consider to be your family. Or maybe you have a new family that you consider to be closer than your family was, your biological family was to you or is to you. So the ancestors in those kinds of situations are going to be able to bless us. So we can't keep saying, oh, I don't know who my parents are. My parents were so messed up, or my whole family is messed up. There's so much physical, mental, emotional abuse. There's so much sexual abuse that I've gone through, or my family has gone through, and the lineages before that have gone through that as well. It got passed down. So therefore, we're just going to keep suffering. No, suffering is optional. So even though it was very difficult, that may have been something that you wanted to experience as you came through that lineage. So here you are now, and you may be the only one in your family who is doing this. And that's all it takes. That's all this gene pool needs, is you, superstar. You don't have to be Jesus Christ or Muhammad or some fabulous God who walked the earth plane, or goddess who walked the earth plane at times where they became the superheroes of that time. You are God. You are a goddess. You have to express that. And to get there, you need the blessings of the ancestors, because they are outside of the spiritual or physical body. They are in spiritual realms. They are evolving in those realms. They are going to heightened states of awareness. They are able to bless us. So some can even go to the level of gods if we can help them to attain that status. And once they get there, OMG, the blessings that will come through your practices, your prayers, your offerings, your rituals, your meditations, your spiritual path, your pilgrimages that you go on, whether that's physically or on the dream plane, or in lucid dreaming, or on the internet, because we're kind of stuck with that, right? But we can still go to those mystical, magical places and see and imagine and read about them and go into that state of consciousness and be on that spiritual path. And no one's spiritual path is better than the others, or has, a higher or lower level or status. Once you're in the spiritual realm, you are just trying to navigate these dark places, just as we are. We try to navigate those dark moments or nights of the soul. And it can be dark moments or nights of the soul that go on and on and on forever, it seems. We can't come out of our funky state. We can't come out of, why does so-and-so have more than me and I'm from the same gene pool? That doesn't make sense. That's where karma comes in. So it's your thinking, your karmic thinking. If you keep thinking you don't have, then you will continue to think you don't have. So let's stop that. Let's do a pattern interrupt. Take a key that is this Tarpanam offering and that many people have been sharing. And thank you so much for sharing during these calls and sending in emails afterwards of your experiences, your feedback about your process that we're taking you through, that Dr. Pillai is guiding your soul to do, all of our souls. How else would we know what to do? So that's what the job of the spiritual master is all about, is to not necessarily look at us for our physical form or our academics or our abilities to be technical in the world or the money that we have or don't have. He goes, pierces right through all that and gets into the soul and says, you need to fill yourself up with some blessings. So he's there to light up the path. Tarpanam is how you can get the blessings. You can get it from spiritual masters that you have been connected to or continue to be connected to intuitively. You're like, whoa, how come I'm so connected to this being? Or maybe you jump from your culture or religious upbringing and you want to find answers somewhere else. And then that becomes your searchlight. So where the path is lit up and no God is better than the other God, no faith is better than the other faith, no religion is better than the other religion. That's how wars start. So let's just cut that out and bring in the spiritual science and use yourself as your own experiment. We're experimenting with ourselves. Even though other people are going to be doing Tarpanam, everyone's going to have their own unique experience and no one can negate that and no one can disrespect it. In fact, if you do, we're just playing the same thing out as we did before we got on a spiritual path, before we woke up and said, hey, there's something else out there. And now we're saying, hey, there's somewhere else out there that we can go and tap into the energy of right now and change our karma right now. So we're going to watch a video of Dr. Pillai during this Mahalaya period where we inherit certain karmas. Remember, thought patterns, scarcity consciousness, poverty consciousness, war, hatred, depression, cancer, disease, heart disease, arthritis. And we're always pointing the finger at someone else. So that may be the case that we did receive that inheritance, whether we signed up for it or not, we received it. So now what we do with it is going to be determining whether you're free from it or whether you want to continue playing that out. So the karmic patterns need to be interrupted. 13th moon, either on the waning or waxing cycle, is called pradosham. Pra comes from the word protection and dosham comes from the word or is loosely translated into affliction. So we feel afflicted or conflicted with or confused with what we're thinking, what we're saying, what we're doing. How many times have you thought, oh, I want to have this beautiful home, car, relationship. I want to stop the fighting and bickering. I want to have loving relationships without leaving people, without divorcing or distancing myself from family. It's sad. So I want that all to go away. And yet we keep manifesting that reality. And if you look towards the ancestors, look towards what they did in their lifetimes, and you will see a pattern of behavior, of thinking, of acting. Maybe you'll see divorces all the way through, or struggling or bickering and fighting and family feuding. Maybe you'll see, people cheating one another in business outside of the family. And then those kinds of situations or curses, that consciousness follows you. And maybe this is the time to get relief from it. So whatever it is for you, and especially today, we're going to be asking for peace and longevity. So we want, now that we know, oh my goodness, it took me this long in my life to get on a spiritual path, or I've been on it for a long time, and I finally figured out that if I want to have a long life, then I've got to pray to the ancestors, and today is the day that you can do that. So longevity doesn't mean a long life of suffering. It means that you're going to live for the rest of your life on your spiritual path, bringing in spiritual energy, intelligence into your everyday life and creating a better world, not spacing out, not necessarily going to a cave or an ashram or a temple or a mosque or a church and hanging out with monks and nuns and so on. You can be in your everyday life, communing, doing your spiritual practices, and also making your life to be a better life. So that's what we wanted to do. We signed up for that in this lifetime, to live a balanced 100% material life and 100% spiritual life in our outlook every day. So we also can pray for peace and vehicles. So you can get a new car, or maybe a new car will come to you. Maybe it won't be brand new, like right off out of the factory, but it could be that you received a vehicle from someone and it was a really good price point, or as a gift, or maybe your parents give it to you because they don't want it anymore and you have a new car. So we need cars to travel here and there and everywhere, and that is part of our everyday life. So that is something that we can pray for. So every moon that we have been participating during Mahalaya, we've been tapping into the energy. It has a certain quality or certain characteristics. So it's like, I don't know what to pray for. Well, this is what you can pray for. And pray for your very sticky, stubborn karma that you inherited, maybe from other lifetimes before you even jumped into this gene pool. And that's getting cleaned up. And then you carry the karma of the ancestors. So the sins of the fathers, they say, or the sins of the forefathers or foremothers, you know. So this is the 21st century where Dr. Pillai knows, hey, he can't possibly study all the scriptures across all traditions, across all cultures, and figure it all out. So I'm just going to give you a tool that is like a key. It will unlock the door to your ancestors inside of you. So you feel it, you know it, you experience it, some shift in consciousness. People have said they've bawled their head off. Their eyes are watering the whole time. They're crying, they're heaving to release that heavy, heavy burden energetically from way down to the bottom of their feet has been what they experienced. This is like came up and I just couldn't take it, like a steam cooker. It's just coming up, coming up, coming up, pop. So that is a blessing, because you don't even know you're walking around with that. You don't even know that you are experiencing that kind of energy that's blocking your vitality, your joy, your happiness, the ability to do everything without thinking, oh my God, another day, I have to get off the bed. How am I going to do this? Oh my God, I'm so old. I can't, and I don't have enough money, and I don't have enough. And we are like, help me, help me, help me. We've tried to do everything. So we want to erase that. We want to erase that, which is that not about right or wrong, because definitely that can feel very real, and it is real for us, but we've got to jump out of it. We've got to at least take a break from it. And if not, if we can't, if we start to take a break from it, we really see, oh, I like this freedom, then we can start to delete those files. So we can get an upgrade in our software of how we are thinking, feeling, and moving about in our everyday life with more grace and ease. So the Tarpanam offering is that which we're going to give to the ancestors. And we are going to ask for our very stubborn karma that we share with them to be released. And even the karma that we've carried that we didn't share with them to also be released, because this is the time period. So you can get a lot done today, and we're going to experience a lot. So hang in there, even if you feel like, oh my God, this is the world's worst ritual that I experienced or meditation. I just feel so terrible. Give it a couple of days and you're going to feel like, whoa, the doors have opened up for me to see. My eyes have opened up, my ears have opened up, the way I sense things, the way I perceive things has all shifted. So this is a time, because we've been working on it, we've been moving the karma. And even if you this is your very first day with us, you're going to experience this energy. So be with it and just say, hey, this is a purifying energy. I'm going to just dump all my negative thinking, all my thoughts, all the worries, concerns, because how else am I going to get rid of it or have a break from it or be freed up from it? So this is the space we're co-creating all around the world. And it's going to be like whatever is bugging us, we're going to create a bug zapper space. So it's just going to bounce off or get zapped. So you can visualize that happening. You can visualize burning happening. You can visualize blue light, laser beam of blue light. I'm going to take you through a beautiful meditation to help you to diffuse the karma as well. So with that, and with Dr. Pillai's grace and blessings, let's get into his message, and then we will dive into our Tarpanam meditation, washing away of so much that is no longer serving us. I'm going to pop up a shared screen. Enjoy, and we'll see you in a bit.
I want to tell you this story about Pradosham. Pradosham is the 13th moon, counted from both the new moon and the full moon, the waxing 13th moon and the waning 13th moon is called Pradosham. In fact, Pradosham happens every day. Before the sun sets, you put an end to activities. You prepare yourself to rest and relax. This stopping of activities, marked by the end of the day, is called Pradosham, daily Pradosham. It is a very significant time. During this time, there is a killing that takes place. The mind is killed. During sleep, that's what happens. The mind gets killed, giving you rest. On the 13th moon, we experience a more significant killing of the time, end of time. There is a story of Pradosham. The demons and the angels, the Asuras and Devas, were fighting over this elixir of immortality. They churned the Milky Ocean. On one side was the group of angels, the other side was the group of demons. They were churning the ocean. They used this snake as the rope to churn the ocean. While they were churning the ocean, the snake, which was used as a rope, felt the pain of being pulled both ways, and it vomited poison. Poison fell on the elixir that was coming out of the churning of the ocean. The poison was so dangerous, even the smell of it was so pungent. They did not know what to do. So they went to Shiva and told him, this is what has happened. Shiva came and collected the poison and drank it. And Shiva's wife Parvati just rushed and held the poison which was going through his throat, and it stopped at the throat, making Shiva's throat blue. And he came to be known as Nilakanta. Nila means blue. Kanta is the throat, the blue throat. This is the mythological story. The story represents the element of poison in human life and how it comes. The poison is only your karma. Karma is basically responsible for suffering. Everyone suffers, no matter who that person is. On his own level, there is suffering. And this suffering is due to this poison, karma. Shiva agrees to remove this poison in order to save. That's why he takes the karma of poison on himself. He said that karma can be dispelled on the earth plane if you just come and recollect this cosmic event. The recollection of this cosmic event will dissolve your karma. Within the earth plane, there is a specific time during which you can dissolve your karma through recollecting this event. And that is the 13th moon of both the waxing and the waning moon cycles. This is the window time, an hour and a half before sunset. This time is designated as the time to remove karma. During the time, Shiva's energy is available on the earth plane to remove suffering. The ritual that you do was established by Shiva himself. If you just pour milk on my symbol, which is the Shiva Linga, on this day during this time, then I will relieve your suffering. You have to pour milk over the Shiva Linga and a Nandi bull. Nandi is a bull on which Shiva rides. It's a very, very powerful ritual. Let the mediocre life caused by bad karma, mediocrity caused by bad karma, suffering caused by bad karma, be dissolved by the power of Tirunelakantam.
So there you have it, the message from Dr. Pillai about why your soul happened to stumble upon today's teachings, to find out that everyone can do something about the stubborn karma or the poison in their lives. So we are going to now get into our Mahalaya practice, which is offering Tarpanam to at least 6 generations on the mother side of the family and on the father side of the family, or the maternal or paternal side of the family, respectively. And then we're going to do a group Tarpanam for the whole world, because we can. We're here as spiritual aspirants on the path with Dr. Pillai, and whatever we do in his name, it will help his mission, which is to change people's destiny. If we're destined to have a terrible life, then we can change it every moment. And then the whole destiny of the world can change. We can work on relieving humanity of suffering, not at the level of maybe the body or the finances or the relationships so much, but at the level of the soul collectively. If our consciousness shifts and we start to live our true soul's evolution, we don't need money. We won't need anything else that we are struggling and groping for here. We will be evolving as the divine beings that is our birthright. So let's do it. Whatever level you are going to work on with your ancestors, whether that's 6 generations or 7 or 107 or infinite number, go for it. Some people are starting brand new, fresh, welcome. And you can start with 6 ancestors. Those of you who have been working with the ancestors, you can offer it to more as per your practices. All right, so I'm going to be moving away from this screen, and you're going to see the altar set up. And by no means is this altar something that you need to do. It is just something for all of us to be able to take a look and then see how to honor the ancestors. So really, we're just going to be looking at the bowl. And so there it is set up. Now, before we begin, we want to make sure that the thoughts that we're having are going to be thoughts that are focusing on spiritual techniques. So how does that work? Well, we want to go inside. So we're going to focus our attention internally, and we are going to be closing our eyes and imagining the energy, our thoughts, our focus is on everything inside of us, including the DNA. We want to get down to the DNA, get down to that level. So the eyes are closed and you're putting your attention internally. Imagine a reddish orangish light pouring down your feet from about the waist down, or maybe the belly. So reddish orangish light is like fire in your belly. And it's pouring down your legs into your feet and toes. And you're imagining this light purifying any negative congested energies along the way. Down to the feet, through the soles of the feet. So the bottoms of your feet. Imagine this reddish orangish light going into the earth, even deeper into the earth, to the core of the earth, which is fire. So you're getting fired up. You're releasing anything that is preventing you from feeling grounded in your life and steady and moving along with firm faith in trust in whatever it is that you're doing is going to manifest a beautiful life. So we want to experience that connectedness to the earth plane, to feel that steadiness. And that reddish orangish light comes up the legs and then is in the belly again, swirling around. We'll call on Ganesha to remove the obstacles for our life to be more fulfilling, more rewarding, internally as well as outside. Om Namaha Nirvignam Kuru Kuru. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha Nirvignam Kuru Kuru. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha Nirvignam Kuru Kuru. Now imagine a ray of light shooting up your backbone, piercing all the chakras on the way up, activating them. The chakras are psycho-spiritual energy wheels or centers that are stacked up on top of one another in your backbone of your subtle body, your energy body. This ray of light shoots up the brain, through the top of the skull, and goes up, up, up. Imagine it going into the realm of the ancestors, asking them for blessings, asking them to be relieved of suffering, asking them for forgiveness. And you forgive them. So log on or lock on to that ray of light with your ancestors inside of your body, your chakras. Imagine two beams of light entering your eyeballs. Keep your eyeballs steady and still, as if you're looking straight ahead. Two beams of light enter your eardrums, piercing your eardrums, lighting up the inside of your brain, the inside of your head. Your face lights up. Two beams of light shoot up your nostrils. A beam of light enters your mouth, pierces the tip of the tongue, lights it up. Middle of the tongue is lit up. Back of the tongue and back into the throat, even in the neck, throat area, in the neck, is all lit up. And a beam of light pierces the top of your skull from above, enters your brain. The neurons or nerve cells in your brain fire. Your neurons fire with this light. Your intelligence comes alive. Lights up your brain, lights up the body. Imagine Dr. Pillai appearing before you in a form you're familiar with, or a light. This light penetrates the millions and trillions of cells of your skin. The pores in your skin are absorbing the spiritual transmission, or darshan, coming from Dr. Pillai, who is going to help you to connect with your ancestors, commune with your ancestors, unlock the secrets of their soul suffering so you can do something about it and be relieved of carrying those sins, those mistakes anymore. Om Dram Dattatreya Shiva Baba Namaha. Om Dram Dattatreya Shiva Baba Namaha. Om Dram Dattatreya Shiva Baba Namaha. Now, slowly, slowly open your eyes. And if you're going to participate in this offering, because it's between daylight hours for you, if the sun has not yet risen, or it has not yet, or it has already set wherever you are in the world, please hold off on offering the Tarpanam. You can do it once daylight hours come for you. So people have been sharing that they're receiving a lot of blessings, even though they're not doing the actual Tarpanam with us. So right hand over the bowl or river or lake or stream or ocean, wherever you are. Maybe it's outside, maybe it's in a sink or over a sink, maybe it's in your shower. So right hand, we're going to take the black sesame seeds, or white or beige if that's what's available. Put some in your palm of your right hand. If you have white or brown rice grains, cooked or uncooked, you can put some in the hand on top of that. If you have some white rice powder, you can put a little bit on there as well. And then you can take your coin, any denomination, any metal, it's fine. And then kind of mix it up and put it like so. Then you can take some darba grass if you have it, pour it on, put it on top of the mix. You can take some tulsi leaves or seeds, or it's crushed, chopped up, as Dr. Pillai says, chop it all up. And then you can take some flower petals and put on top. So the mix is there. For this first offering is going to be for 6 generations at least on the mother's side or maternal side of the family. So close your eye, or you can put your right hand over top of the bowl and then pour a little bit of water, just sprinkles of it. Close your eyes. Put your attention internally and imagine connecting this offering to your heart, your soul, your body, your throat. The karma is stuck in the throat, so imagine this offering, the essence of it, the energy of it, diffusing karma in the throat, also the brain, the whole body is connecting. So you might be shaking, you might have some emotional experience coming up. Allow it. Whatever is going to happen is going to happen. And now imagine 6 generations on your mother's side of the family, the maternal side of the family, of ancestors who are stuck in hellish realms or realms that are so confusing. They're lost. Ask them, come, take this offering. Be at peace. This is what is going to help you to explore higher realms, connect with exalted ancestors who will help you along the way, just as we're helped here on the earth plane by those who care and love us. So feel the process of them taking the offering. Very important. If you don't feel anything, trust that it is being done. And then you can ask for forgiveness. You can forgive them. Ask for blessings of longevity, of vitality, health, well-being, diffusion of any diseases, any bad karmas that you have inherited from them gets diffused. Ask for their blessings of peace, prosperity, enlightenment for all the descendants. Here, then open your eyes and hold the hand over the bowl of the offering and then pour water. And as it's being washed away into the bowl, the coin drops, all the Tarpanam offering is dropping into the bowl, washing away the sins, washing away everything that is no longer serving you. And trusting that this technology is doing it. It's the surrogate. You don't have to hold on to it anymore. Then you take the coin and you can just place it off to the side. Next is going to be offering the Tarpanam, black sesame seeds, beige or white or fine. Then we'll put some white rice or brown rice grains, cooked or uncooked, like so. Some white rice powder if you have it. Darba grass, some tulsi, can be dried or fresh, and then some flower petals. Your coin can go into the mix like so. This is going to be the offering for the paternal side of the family. Hold it over the bowl and once again pour a little bit of water. Close your eyes. Imagine 6 generations on your father's side, paternal side of the family, who are going to come and accept this offering, take it, because it's helping them to come out of really stuck places of being confused, fearful, angry, upset, suffering, and pain of the soul. We can't even imagine what that feels like, to feel so lost and disconnected. Ask them to go into heavenly realms, get assistance from exalted ancestors to move out of pain and suffering, darkness, ignorance. And then once they feel that release or relief, then bless. So ask for forgiveness, forgive them, and ask for blessings. Especially longevity, cars, vehicles, That's what we can ask during this 13th moon, during Mahalaya, from the ancestors. Peace, prosperity, enlightenment. Open your eyes. Complete the Tarpanam offering by pouring water over the mixture as it just pours into the bowl or wherever it is that is accepting it. And then keep washing. Wash away the sins. Wash away the mistakes. And feel it. This is not just something that you're doing with your hands. Your whole body is releasing the negativity. Your mind, your soul, your DNA. And now you can just observe what you're feeling or what you're thinking about this offering to the father's side of the family. For a moment, while I dig around here and get the coin for our final offering. So right hand, black sesame seed. This is the offering to all souls of departed ancestors who have departed from the earth plane, all around the earth plane, who have suffered tremendously and they're stuck. And we can do something collectively because we're from all around the world. So those ancestors can get some relief. So we've got the black sesame seed, the white rice powder, we've got the white rice grains, got the coin in there, the darba grass, if you have it, some tulsi. Oh, all the tulsi wanted to go. Put some more darba grass, some more black sesame seeds. May as well, we have it. This is a big one today. It's pradosham. Get rid of all the karma that we've inherited as a human race. There is no race. It's not who goes the fastest wins. We just want to experience an enlightened, prosperous, joyous life for every human being. So once we have this fabulous offering here, we can take a little bit of water, pour it on, and close our eyes. Now, imagine ancestors from all walks of life, all cultures, all traditions of all times who are struggling. Please come and take this offering. This is our humble attempt, our simple attempt for us to do something for you, to relieve you of your suffering, to go into higher realms. Exalted ancestors, come into the earth plane, come into the earth plane and teach us, wake our souls up to be as you are in heavenly, divine, exalted states, joy, happiness. You have everything that you need. And then pray for peace, prosperity, enlightenment, food, clothing, shelter, medicine, clean water, everything that any human being needs, people to love them unconditionally. That's living heaven on earth. And then connect, say your prayer however you want it, expressed, and then when you're ready, you can open your eyes and then pour the water. Imagine the sins of the world being washed away. And imagine heaven on earth. It's our birthright. It's not just what we were raised in as a religion, or even now. We want it. We want our ancestors to bless us to have it. Through Dr. Pillai's grace and blessings in his name, so be it. And close your eyes. Connect with the ancestors, connect with this offering. Even if you don't understand what it is, you can't possibly understand it at the level of the mind. It's all deep, deep within you. So imagine whatever is no longer serving you, the bad karma, the bad luck, the misfortune, the repeated suffering again and again and again. Imagine it coming to the surface through the throat. So focus your attention on the throat. And if you need to cough or you need to sneeze or you need to yawn to try to get it out, go ahead. If you need to move your neck, move it so the energy can leave you. Imagine a blue beam of light. It's like laser light surgery. Using this blue beam of light piercing your throat from outside in front of you. Just your throat. Focus on your Adam's apple, that bump in your throat that you can feel when you press on your neck area. When you swallow, you can feel that bump. Now imagine this blue light piercing through your throat, and it goes deep, 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 beyond your throat, beyond your body, beyond what you can imagine to be you. It's going deep, deep, deep into the past, into the present life, into the future life. It's rooting out any negative congested energies, bad karmas, inherited through the lineage or that you carried through in this lifetime from other lifetimes. Feel the blue light diffusing the karma. You must feel it. And receive the sounds to diffuse it. Tiranilakantam 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 Keep receiving the blue laser beam of light piercing the throat. The whole neck area lights up. Tiranilakantam 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 Diffuse any bad karma, financial karma, relationship karma, disease karma, work or career or business karma, family karma. Diffuse it with the light. Tiranilakantam, Tiranilakantam, Tiranilakantam. Now this light pours into your shoulders. The weight of your karma is in the shoulders and in the chest. You can't even breathe properly. Diffuse it with the light and the sounds. Tiranilakantam, Tiranilakantam, Tiranilakantam. Tiranilakantam, Tiranilakantam, Tiranilakantam. Diffuse it, diffuse it, diffuse it with the light and the sound vibrations. The whole body is now being infused with this blue light from head to toe. Absorb the blue light. Tirunīlakantam, 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 Tirunīlakantam. Tirunīlakantam, Tirunīlakantam, Tirunīlakantam. From head to toe, you're filled with a blue light that's diffusing stubborn karma and infusing your cells of your body, your mind, your souls with vitality, joy, prosperity, consciousness, abundance, blessings, grace. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Peace to the body, peace to the mind, peace to the soul. Peace to the environment, peace to the world. End the meditation, just let go. Take your time to slowly, slowly come back to yourselves. And when you're ready, as you are ready, not before then, you can continue to merge with your connection to your ancestors, to the karma busting sounds, to the vibrations that you feel, the release or the relief. Take notice of what is going on inside of you. What are your thoughts now? What is your energy? What was a message that you got from your ancestors? Or what was the sign? These are all things that as you're coming back to yourself, back to your body, back to the space, back to your thinking process, you can take a look at, observe it. Note to self, something happened. So as you're coming back, slowly, slowly come back. And then those people who need to go, thanks so much for joining. We will see you tomorrow for one of our final days. And if you missed any of the days of celebrating ancestor blessings through this workshop, this 15-day period through Apply Center practice, then definitely you can go and review them as if they have captured that energy of that time, that day. And then you can absorb yourself into it, do the offering and catch up, get the blessings and catch up to where we are now. So those people who are going to stay, this is a part of the call where we can maybe share our experiences, or if you'd like, you can ask questions. Some people have been asking questions about can women do it, or who can do Tarpanam? Anyone can do Tarpanam, regardless of what you were raised in, as per the tradition that you were raised in. Maybe there are certain rules and regulations. If you want to follow those rules and regulations, we don't want to discourage you from doing that. Please go ahead and do that. However, if you also want to practice participating in the Tarpanam offering, which is a spiritual practice, it's a tool. It's not the whole kit and caboodle. No way. Can you even know what that is? Vedic specialists do it on our behalf, and we don't even qualify for that on any level, perhaps. So what we can do, though, is we can offer the food that the ancestors need, this Tarpanam offering, with our heart, with our mind, with our soul, and our humble attempt to do something that we know we can do with our own hands, and then feel it, experience it. And then if you want to participate in your Tarpanam service as per your tradition, you can go ahead and do that. So there are no hard or fast rules. Women can do it, kids can do it, women can do it on their cycle, men can do it, anybody can do it. There's going to be, the only cautionary note is to, if you're going to do the Tarpanam for a non-family member, or you're not married to them, they're not in your relative gene pool, then it can get a little tricky. So you want to maybe consider checking in with that family of that soul who passed away, whether it was a friend or a family member who was outside of your gene pool. You can ask that family if they're interested in doing some prayers for that soul. And maybe they will be, and maybe they won't. You can ask them if they want to sponsor it, and then you can arrange for them to get the payment from them, because you don't want to incur that karma. It's tricky, because the soul will then latch onto you, and you'll be living that life out of the soul. And even if the Tarpanam is done, you're taking on their suffering and pain. So it's not always a great idea to do that. That's why we have the proxy services as well, where those family members can sponsor it for their loved one who happens to be your friend, or, a close colleague or whatever. So in all traditions, all cultures have some way of praying and offering prayers to the soul. So maybe they won't be open to what this is all about, that's offered through Ashurveda Apply Center and done in India on our behalf, or the behalf of our loved ones who have passed, is through us. So it's not done on our behalf, it's through us that we are getting it done by proxy for them. So we want to, honor that. So across the cultures, across the traditions, they're honoring souls who have passed away, souls who have departed. So maybe to honor your friend or your family member who has passed away in a way that is going to be acceptable for their family. Maybe you can, encourage them to find out. I know through when my aunt died, she just loved the church that she went to. It's a Catholic church. She was a big part of it. And, so I just sponsored some prayers for her to be done, as well as I did the proxy Tarpanam for her, because she was like a mother to me. Well, she was a mother to me for a few years of my life, in the beginning of my life. So, that's what you can do as well, to honor that tradition. And then you won't feel so confused or upset or whatever. You're just honoring the soul as per that tradition. And maybe that will be helping you to feel okay. Because see, it's all about us. It's not about so much that, one tradition is going to connect with the other tradition. Just know that every tradition has a funeral rite, a passage for the soul, whether it's whether the person is cremated or not. There is an end of the life, celebration or honoring of that soul for journeying and being a part of your life somehow. Even if you knew them or were distant from them, they're part of you. That's what you feel. And that's what you want to feel, the connection being released, that energy, that energetic tie being released. Even if they were the most fabulous person. I consider my aunt to be pretty fabulous. She raised me and all the rest of her other kids. For a few years. So I have great respect for her. and her soul, and definitely wanted to do the Tarpanam, which I did, and continue to do through the year-long Tarpanam service. So that's something that you might want to consider to get into as well, because it can take the rest of your life to appease the ancestors, and who wants to wait for that? So try it out with the daily Tarpanam, as we have been doing. Some people are offering 108 Tarpanams a day during Mahalaya, or at some point, just to really connect. So again, it's not so much about the process or trying to figure it out or being confused about it, or how do you connect the dots between the different traditions? You never will. It's just what you have decided to come as a soul to try out. And it may not connect the dots, but the essence of it is there. The idea is there that something's going on in that spiritual realm, and we got to help out those ancestors who are struggling. And how will we know that they are or are not is through whether we're struggling or we are successful. So that's what karma is all about, is to break that pattern of thinking. If it's serving us or not serving us, it needs to be examined. No one is responsible but you and I and everybody else for their soul's journey. And regardless of your family, your biological, whatever you inherited, or maybe you inherited a family that is not connected to your biology, it's your soul's genetics. So who knows what the heck's going on at the level of the soul? We got all kinds of other stuff going on at the level of the body, the mind, the emotions, the energy body. So we haven't even got to the soul. So people want to say, oh, what's my soul's purpose? I want my soul mate. I want a soul, whatever. You got all this other stuff that's covering it up. And no wonder we're confused about what to do and when, or who's right and who's wrong. Trust that your soul brought you here because you are confused. So just keep doing the practice without all the try to figure it out and who's right and who's wrong. Just do it. That's your experiment. Dr. Pillai says, use your life, use this body, use this mind, use this intellect, use your emotions, use your devotion, use all of yourself to do something. We're not saying this is the only thing and we are right and everyone else is wrong. I don't even know if we're right, but just take this technology. It is the key that unlocks the door to your ancestors. Once the door is open, your ancestors are waiting there for you to open the door. They've been coming into the earth plane and they've been hanging out with you, but can't see them, can't feel them, or you do and you don't know what to do with it. So you just keep feeding them, keep feeding them, keep feeding them, and don't stop. For the rest of your life, do it. Just like you want your teeth in your head, keep brushing them. You want good health, keep brushing your teeth. Add the Ancestor Tarpanam and you'll have good health. You'll have well-being. You'll have all kinds of blessings. So people are saying, Elvia is saying, can we do Tarpanam for our husband's ancestors? Absolutely, because they're part of your soul's journey. They're part of your family, your husband, even if you're divorced 1, 2, 3 times, you have kids with, or no kids, that being, that soul came in to unite with your family, your gene pool, even if they're passed away and you're so far removed from them, but you feel on some level, especially during Mahalaya, that spouse or significant other doesn't have to be through the licensed marriage. It can be their life partner. You're so connected to them and you spent some time and you were deeply in love. That's, you feel the soul suffering, then you can do something about it. And their ancestors, especially husbands or wives or spouses or kids or parents, they might say, what are you doing? That's sacrilegious. You don't have to share what you're doing on your spiritual path. Just do your spiritual path. It's your intimate connection to God. Do you go and say, Hey, Mom, are you talking to God today? What did God say to you? Oh, no, that's not the right thing. That's not the right thing for you. How? You don't want to get into that. That's how wars start, arguments start. So just do your spiritual path. Find out for yourself what is happening inside of you. And then you can commune with people, these kinds of communities here, especially at Pillai Center. We come from so many different cultures, traditions, spiritual teachers, spiritual masters. We are just so committed to finding a higher, faster way of doing things. And that's what Dr. Pillai says. I'm just going to give you this simple thing. You could spend lifetimes trying to figure it all out. Why? Why do you want to try to figure it out? Just do the thing, because you only have this lifetime to figure it out. And then to live the life of freedom, peace, and feeling, oh my God, I feel like my ancestors are so happy. How does it work? It's just like you take a Tylenol when you have a bad headache, or you lay down, or you do whatever you do to just get rid of it. Who says what's going to be right for the next person? It doesn't matter what anyone else is doing. In fact, as the kids used to say to me when I was teaching them meditation, they're like, mind your own fabulous business. When you mind your own fabulous business, then you're just fabulous and you're keeping busy with that. So do whatever it is that you're going to do that's going to help you. No one has to negate it, or no one has to say it's okay. You are the master of your soul. All right. So Naimika is saying here, family members from Tennessee, California, Arizona, Washington State, Maryland, Michigan have been affected by my Mahalaya practice, Tarpanam practice. I did not know these family members even existed. So thank you. She's saying, thank you for this technology. And thanks to Dr. Pillai, absolutely. So he is just here. He just always says, hey, try this out. It's going to help you. And we're here to say it does work. It is going to help you. So do this. No suffering. So Jane is saying here, I felt relief, not as emotional before. And that's what happens. We feel so much emotions, the pain. We even feel this physical relief. And once we feel that release or that relief, mentally, emotionally, spiritual, physically, it's like, I can breathe. And that's what we want. We didn't even know that we couldn't breathe fully, or we couldn't feel uplifted or lighter in our being or approach to life. So it's because the ancestors were not carrying that burden, that energetic burden has been released and relieved from us. So scrolling up the chat, I hope that I've answered your questions about who can do the Tarpanam and who you can do it for. And women can do it. Women can do it when they're on their cycle. People who are confused about all the different traditions, well, you can continue to be confused about it. Spend your whole lifetime trying to connect the dots, and good luck with that. Or do the Tarpanam, continue to do it, and watch your life unfold in a very beautiful way. So that's all I have to say about that. Because that's all I can say about that. Otherwise, I would spend the rest of my life trying to figure it out too. And that's just not necessary for me. You can do it, just saying. Adrian is saying, isn't it amazing? My mother's grandmother used to tell me, never forget who or whom your people are. I always remember most of my ancestors. That's beautiful. Naimika is saying here, this technology is real. Thankful and grateful for Dr. Pillai, our guru, and the whole Pillai staff. Fabulous. Blessings are coming. So people are sharing about their experience doing the Tarpanam. So you can definitely scroll up and check that out, everyone. Adrian is saying, I always feel so good to be here with you. I haven't been able to purchase Tarpanam staples. So what I have been doing is following along and offering these rituals by proxy. So this is what it is. To be on a spiritual path, we kind of want to get out of the limitations of this physical body and not being able to be seated right with you in the same physical space. But here we are in virtual space. And how do we know we're connecting? Because we have the technology. So the technology is making us to connect, just like we pick up our phone and we know we're going to text someone, or we're going to WhatsApp or Instagram or Facebook them or email them. This is the thing that will do it as per right now, or the computer or phone, whatever. That's the way of the world now. So the way of the world now for people on the spiritual path who have come to find out what Dr. Pillai's teachings are all about is pick up your Tarpanam and do it. And then feel the relief and the release of the burden that you don't even know you're carrying, or you did know you're carrying. And some people have said, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, my family members are connecting with me. And a family member said, wow, we cheated you out of the will from the father or the mother. And we need to correct that. Like, that's a miracle. So that can come up too, is a wrongful managing of the inheritance can be corrected. Maybe the inheritance is gone, but the family members are saying, you know, we want to ask for your forgiveness for cheating you out. That was wrong. So that's fabulous. That's happening. Or even family members are connecting who you never thought you connect with and never forgive. Even people have said, I can't forgive my ancestors. They were terrible. Well, okay, well, you know, you can keep saying that, but you won't be forgiving yourself either, because you share the genes. So, you know, kind of fake it till you make it a bit, or enroll in these year-long programs, the Tarpanam program, where it's done every day. And then that will chip away at that inability to forgive, because it's just a really strong, congested negative energy that it needs to be dealt with spiritually, because you can't think forgiveness. You can't feel forgiveness. You got to let it be. And then you will start to see what letting go of all that resentment or judgment or whatever it is. And I'm not saying that that's what you're feeling, but the inability to forgive is just a poison that you're taking and expecting, you know, something to happen to them, you know, like, it's just turn it around and just really ask the ancestors, okay, maybe you were so messed up that I chose to come through and get on a spiritual path. So I got to start thanking you for that. I don't know about forgiveness, but I may, you know, how will you know the light until you know what's really dark? And then if you really despise your ancestors, or you really are judging them harshly, just look at that, because they actually, if they were really so messed up, look at the life situation that they had to live and why they were so messed up. So the compassion that will come through, not thinking about it too much, but you will feel it and go, oh my God, they did take on a lot of karma of the ancestors before them. So you got to kind of live at this point and experience in your spiritual path. There's a tool, there's a way out. So please, Gabby is saying, I do think that it was my ancestors that connected me with Babaji's teaching about Mahalaya Tarpanam. They wanted help from me so as to help myself. So thanks to Dr. Pillai and SUCHARITA. That's beautiful, Gabby. That's exactly. How else can we get these mistakes? So a sin is a mistake. And should we continue to suffer and be punished and punish and, you know, watch a soul in purgatory or feel that burning of the soul who's screaming, you know, not out loud, but we feel it inside of us because we're connected to them. So just as we inherit disease, how do you know you inherit disease? Because it's in your genes. How do you know it will manifest? Because it will be so strong. That energy will be so strong. So we want to stop that. Even if we did inherit, or cancer is running through the genes, it's rampant in my family, the lineage. arthritis, heart disease. It's not, and everyone in my family is living a healthy lifestyle. So how to stop that? So that the generation, the kids and the grandkids don't have to carry that. Mistake. It's a mistake to carry it on, to ignore it, to not do something about it. It's a mistake, not a sin. Oh my God, you didn't do Tarpanam, you are sinned, you will burn in hell. You know, it's already enough going on. So do the Tarpanam, participate in, if you can, the year-long Tarpanam services or anything along at Pillai Center as you can, as it permits, your budget permits. And your budget, as far as time and energy goes, that you have that. It only takes a couple of minutes every day to do it. So Shivaya is saying, women not allowed to touch Darba and do Tarpanam. This is a deep angle to it. Maybe women taking care of children. Women's energy system is prone to vampiric energies. Yes, Shivaya, and I understand that. And we all understand that. And Dr. Pillai understands that as well. But we're gonna go beyond what we have learned, because that's a karma. We've stuck that as for real. And we stuck that in our mind as this is what's going to happen. And we feel that so strongly that is going to be how it's going to be forever. But we're in the 21st century now, and we are on a path of evolution that whatever we think, so shall it be. So this will help us to appease that pattern that we've inherited, or maybe even you're expressing here, and it's a beautiful concern. However, if you are at that level of your evolution where you just want to try this out and you know that it's going to help, just as the tradition that I come from, the Catholic tradition, and this isn't a judgment, it's not about right or wrong. I was taught certain things, and I came from a family that there was divorce. My parents got divorced, and we were excommunicated from our church, from Catholicism. So oh my God, we committed a huge sin. And that was a lot of suffering because I couldn't go to church. I couldn't go and practice faith because my parents had split up. They had divorced, and we needed to be excommunicated from the church. Now, everybody come on in. People who are divorced, people who went through all kinds of terrible things. That's how it is. So even though you may think, and I know it's because you are greatly immersed or entrenched in your spiritual beliefs, things shift all the time. So because it may have been passed through the scriptures of the traditions, it's limiting. Because if Krishna showed up or Shiva showed up and said, you don't get to do Tarpanam because you're a woman, that would just really rock the world, because that is the beginning. That is the end. That is all of it. They would never say that. So again, I'm not disrespecting your words or disrespecting any tradition, any culture, even my own. We're asking you to try something that will connect you to your ancestors, beyond the beliefs, beyond the traditions, beyond the beyond, and get to the level of your soul where it can cleanse all the suffering that perhaps generations of women didn't get to offer Tarpanam, and now they do. So try it out. Shrima is saying here, can I ask something unrelated to Tarpanam? How often do you change the lime or lemon from the trident? Every call. So that will be thrown away, and so will this. I use the veil of Lord Muruga to pierce a lemon or a lime as well. And just doing that is like, what the heck does that mean? It's a spiritual tool, and it works. So regardless of what anyone thinks, I'm going to do it. I'm going to use it, and I have been for 25 years. So you're very welcome, Namita. And so, again, please, as Dr. Pillai shared, don't listen to us. or what we're saying. You do it for yourself. And if it works for you, fabulous. Hey, if you've got other things that work for you, share it. It's awesome. But we know that energetically, people who are on a spiritual path have come from different paths, different walks of life, different traditions, different cultures. Even their Sadguru of that tradition will be telling them, you must do this. You have a karma with that Sadguru, just like I have a karma with Dr. Pillai. I'm from a Catholic background. How did I get to know him? It's at the level of the soul. And I respect both traditions, all traditions, all traditions, all people. And I honor that at the level of the soul. We're here, we're trying to explore, we're going into territory that we've never gone before. And we're finding out that, hey, there are similarities, there are rules and regulations, and it's based on your karma with that particular guru or master. As I've mentioned in many calls before, that over the years, I've met lots of masters, lots of gurus over the lifetime, this lifetime. And I used to say to the Vedic astrologer and to Dr. Pillai, why am I meeting, Sri Sri Ravi Shankar? Why am I meeting Sai Baba? Why am I meeting these masters and these priests and nuns and gurus? And he just said, it's, you have things to clean up. And maybe it might just be hello, that's done. Or it might be a teaching that you get. Or it might be just acknowledgement, a nod. Or it might be nothing and you're just present to that. This is a time in our lives where we don't want to blink and miss it because we're stuck in our mindset of how we're supposed to do things. So honor everyone and enjoy honoring your ancestors in a way that is just a tool. It's a key. Think of it as a key. It's going to unlock the door. You open up the door and then you can go and get the blessings. So Shrima is saying, just wanted to say there's power in numbers. I felt really good every time I'm in such calls. I think it's the group energy, and thanks, Sucharita, for hosting them. You're very welcome. How can I learn about the trident? Sharika is asking. You can just take a lemon or a lime and pierce a trident. Simple as that. Once it's done, then, sometimes I have it during meetings or other calls that I have, or maybe I had a bad day and I just take the lime or the lemon and I imagine it being all the negative karma inside of me and that negative thoughts, and I just pierce it. So the spiritual tools, again, the trident or the veil, or for Ganesha, you have here his axe. So these are all sacred, divine objects. They're also tools to absorb negativity. So instead of you taking on that negativity, that energy that you're just like, whoa, what did I just get hit with? You can ask the surrogate technology to take it on for you. And then you just throw it in the garbage afterwards. You can cut it, get really into it. Yeah, so Shiva is saying, this is not about you, me and you. It's what we were told by wise who has Vedic knowledge. I don't decide rules. Whatever I shared, I was told in a temple. Absolutely, Shivaya. And that's what I'm saying is that you have a karma with your Sadguru. You have a karma with the wise men or women. You have a karma with Dr. Pillai, and you don't want to question it. So you can definitely go on your path and go on your way, and knowing what you know, that's fabulous. So what we have learned from Dr. Pillai is that try this out and you will see the results. So that's all we're going to say about that. And I hope that you are taking that as I want you to, with respect. And I respect you deeply because you are very spiritual and I can feel that. And you just want to help people. So, and as I do, and I don't want to put any rules and regulations. If Dr. Pillai said, hey, do this, I'm saying, hey, do this. And I've been doing it for 25 years and I have met Sadgurus and they're all like, yeah, keep doing what you're doing. Cool. That's cool. I don't do it, but you can. Cool. So that's it. All right. Oh, wow. We've been here for a while. So let's maybe wrap it up. If you want to, as Dr. Pillai had shared, watch the part about the Pradosham, explore more about that on the YouTube. This is a great time to dump a lot of karma. So get out of mindsets. Whether you've, whether you've read it through the scriptures as per your tradition or not, you might want to just expand that, try to be free of that as well. Respect it, take it in, but also be free. That's what you are here to do, is evolve to beyond all that. All right. So God bless you all. Thank you so much for joining. Thanks to Dr. Pillai for bringing us all together and having these fabulous conversations on the chat. And we'll see you tomorrow. So have an amazing rest of your day or your evening, wherever you are. And God bless. Namaste.